Yeah, more than me. Interview tomorrow. Success culture is preparing for multiple positions. Do you prefer commission? No. I prefer to basically should give you more time. Leave this yeah, first one. No. See right here? The thing is, one yellow. Shit's closed. All right, boom. So yeah, oh shit, it's still on. So boom. It's gonna be Compton Rick Rock from Compton Rick Rock TV talking about he got a couple different threats from some people. I guess he was speaking on some different things, people's cases or something around that, and they threatened him. So it's gonna be one clip of him talking about that, and another clip saying basically, gangbangers don't tell him what to do. Tell that to the news reporters. So we're gonna get into this. Appreciate everybody liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, hitting the notification bell so I know y'all there, so I could throw out 2 minutes in the air. Follow me on Kick, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Discord, hype the video. Let's get to 4,000 subs. Check out the Rich Rad interview that I just dropped a little bit ago. With damn homie talking to Rich Rad. But yeah, we're gonna get into this, man. Let's go.
You're now watching Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
5:30 in the morning, man. I had to go get my cup of coffee, man. Yeah, some of y'all still snoozing. That's why you're losing. But it's a good day today, man. Every day is a good day. If you think I'm lying, try missing one, man. I got something I want to talk about. I've been wanting to talk about this since last night, but I didn't get around to it. Busy taking care of my business. But this is what I want to talk about, man. The phone calls that you get, they go two ways. Well, the phone calls I get go two ways. Some phone calls be, Rock, people don't like what you doing. People say when they see you, it's going to be up. The other phone calls I get be, Rock, we like what you're doing, man. I love when that intro come on, man. Me and my kid be dancing when we be watching your stuff, man. My girl be dancing when that intro track come on. Them two type of phone calls I get pertaining to this YouTube stuff, right? So I want to break something down. Nobody is mad at me but the suckers. That's the only person that's mad at me is a sucker. Ain't no real one mad at me, man. Ain't no real one mad at what I do. Some didn't call me like, man, I'm watching your stuff with my sons, man. Man, that was a good message you doing, man. Them suckers, man, they gonna get you, Rock. They don't like you, Rock. I get these phone calls often. And my thing is, I don't care who like me. They didn't like Jesus, man. So you think I care if they don't like me for what I do? Man, half of y'all grown, man. When I load these videos up and say, these are not made for kids. This content is not made for kids, man. But guess what? It's some youngsters right now that's 16, 15, and they gonna be scrolling through these YouTube channels and they gonna come across some Compton Rick Rock TV. Now, some of that message, I know I got a whole lot of messages in my content. Yes, we gonna do the clowning. Yes, we gonna do all the back and forth talking. But if you really go through it, comb through it, you gonna find something that's 100, that's solid, that's real. And a lot of it, man, a lot of that be filler in, man. A lot of that stuff be BS too. But if you sharp, then you know how to go through the BS, go through the realness, and take out what fit for you. But all the ones who suckers, they gonna do this and man, ain't nobody running from nothing out here, man. Only thing I'm running from is a pit bull if it was loose. That's it. I ain't running from no little poodles, and I'm gonna kick the poodles right in their ass. I ain't running from no poodle. But a pit bull off the leash, I'm out of here, I'm gone. That's it. Ain't nobody running from nothing. When you got God on your side, man, you in the game. You in the game. See, a lot of these dudes that's mad be these ones on the internet. Ain't no street. I'm in the streets all day, man. When I go in the streets, ain't no street dude walking up on me talking about no yin yang. That's this internet stuff. Ain't nobody walking about no real one talking about no yin yang, no BS, man. Cause you gonna listen, man. When you're in the presence of a real one, you know. You can feel it. You can feel the energy. It ain't nothing but a bunch of YouTube cats that want to grow in this game, man. And you gonna grow. Wait your time. When your turn come, you gonna blow past everybody. That's all it is, man. It's some YouTube cats that's mad. Some YouTube cats that's putting your name to tighten up their game. And you can use my name. I just told the cat the other day, man, you can use my name in your content, man, good or bad. It don't matter to me. Get your money. See, I'm not a player hater. I'm not one of them dudes that's gonna sit up there and hate on the next dude or do any of that. Get your money. Get your paper. It's the suckers. It's the haters. Them the ones that's mad. I know you mad when you wake up in the morning, man, and you hear your girl up in there, she bumping that boom, 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 and that rider coming through tipping seesaw, and I'm on them switches, winking my eye at them bitches. Yeah, they mad at that, man. Nobody want to see their girl up. You know how many women call me, I like your show? You know how many women call me, I got you on notifications every time your video pop up. It comes to my phone, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Oh, you so handsome. Yeah, I know some of these suckers is mad at that. Man, some of y'all look like a rooster fish, man. A fish and a rooster mixed together, man. I get it, I understand, man. But it's all good. Everybody get their time. When you get your time to shine, shine in that moment because it's going to be the next person's time. You got to pass the torch to the next person. calling me talking about, man, when they see you is up. I said, man, listen, man. Well, let it be up. Let it be up when they see me. It is what it is going to be what it's going to be. You can't make everybody happy. You can't beat everybody. They said you saying, so what? So what? Do something about it. Because it ain't for you anyway. This ain't for you suckers. This for the real ones. My message is not for the suckers. You know what the suckers do? They turn on the video and they watch it. And when they get up out of there. Only the real ones stay and watch it anyway. I don't expect you suckers to get any of this realness, man. They say, man, what y'all doing? Man, y'all do. So what? Let me tell you something, man. You rather me do this than me getting out there telling your kids to go hit a lick, to go rob somebody, to go smoke somebody, and then when they get caught by the police, they go do a life sentence. Because I can easily do that. We know we got the numbers up here. We get numbers. I can easily be on here. I seen the little concert with the NBA young boy, man. Nothing against that dude. No disrespect, man. He got them kids, man. They up there wearing green bandanas to the show. I guess this for slime and all this old stuff. That's gang affiliated stuff, y'all. I can easily tell your son they'll put on a blue rag or a red bandana. I can easily influence them to do that. Because all they want to be blinded by is some jewelry. Go get some of that old fake jewelry. I see some of these dudes wearing them old fake earrings, them fake watches. Go rent me some. We make money on here. I go rent me a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, and push through the set and push through and be on the internet, make it look good and entice all the youngsters. Hey, cuz or hey, blood, and have them go doing all the craziness, madness, telling them to go put in work. Oh, that's easy to do that. It's easy to do that. But I'd rather get on here, man, and I'm going to find some of y'all videos, some of the ones and I'm going to say, man, this is how I'm going to break it down. Man, I wouldn't have did that. Man, I wouldn't have did it like this, man. Why you throwing the middle finger up to that dude hood? Because every dude I done seen on the internet within the last few months, the ones that's throwing the middle finger up to F you to somebody hood, I done seen a lot of them dudes get rest in peace. A lot of them getting rest in peace. I done seen it. So the suckers is going to be mad at you, man. Because they ain't never been nobody anyway. They ain't never been nobody in life. They ain't never had nothing. They ain't trying to get nothing. They watching what a real nigga do and sitting back criticizing and saying, man, I don't like that. Even some of your homies. Some of your own homies from your neighborhood is hating on you the hardest. Them the ones that's really hating on you. Because they looking at it like, damn, cuz. Damn, blood. The homie, they gonna make up something. Man, the homie said this. Y'all see what the homie doing? What the homie doing? Man, cuz that nigga, woo-de-woo-woo. But if you was on the block, twisting up, rolling with him, if you was in the hood, twisting up, rolling with him, if you was up in the park, twisting up, rolling with him, if you was on the avenue, twisting up, rolling with him, it wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem at all. If you was out there drinking with him, if you was out there shooting dice and they got hit for their money, hey, cuz, let me hold 500 to get back in the dice game. Wouldn't be a problem. Your own gonna be the ones that really hating on you. It's gonna be the suckers who mad at you. Suckers, that's the real topic of this. I seen the video I'm not explaining shit. I'm not explaining nothing to nobody, man. It's not for me to get up here and say, man, I only do this because it is, and this is the reason why, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Either you like it or you don't. If you don't like it, get your ass up out of here. You ain't got to come over here and get on up out of here. Beat it before you get deleted. Beat it before you get deleted. I just found out, man. I just found out a couple of days ago, you could block a sucker off YouTube. You can hide them from your channel. I said, oh, somebody called me. I said, oh, yeah, I done knocked off probably about 1,000 suckers. I could smell a sucker a mile away. I could smell a sucker a mile away. I could tell that them is suckers. I could tell. Get on up out of here. Beat it. I don't want you here. You've been deleted. Get up out of here. Scram. Move fast like a Dodge Ram. Get up out of here. You got to see it, homie. Y'all not going to stop what God say, do Rick Rock. This ain't my plan. This was God's plan for me to be the man. Yeah. How you think I get invited to some of these spots, these parts? Because they good sense the realness, man. You got to understand this, man. When you're trying to do something positive, or when you get up off your ass and go do something, homie, and you stay consistent with that, and it's working for you, it's gonna be people that's gonna be jealous and mad. But I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. That was just my message. It was something I wanted to talk about while I was sipping on my coffee, man. I ain't really had this ain't no reaction to nothing. I just wanted to get up here and talk about some suckers, man. Some of the phone calls I be getting be out of this world. Out of this world. My low rider be fixed in a minute. I'm building a new low rider. Y'all will see me in the streets. This ain't no, man, listen, man. We get on this internet and we have fun. That's it, that's all. Some of y'all don't like it. Like I say, you don't gotta watch it. Y'all talk about my hood. I talk about y'all hood. I ain't incriminating nobody. And listen, man, get your ass off the internet doing dumb shit that's gonna get you locked up. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. Y'all keep on snoozing, because y'all gonna keep on losing. I'ma keep on winning, and I'ma keep on grinning. I'll catch all y'all in the next one.
Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
Good morning, man. Every day is a blessed day. If you think I'm lying, try missing one, man. I know y'all probably wondering where I'm at. I'm here at Channel 7 ABC News, and I thought I'd see some of you guys, all you ones that be on here telling people they can't talk about y'all section. This is where y'all need to be telling them they can't talk about y'all section. They making millions off y'all sections. They making millions off y'all hood. I'm the only one here. I don't see none of y'all here. Where you at? This is ABC. ABC, Channel 7. I know I ain't gonna see none of y'all up here. I'm not even going up in there. I ain't going to jail, going up in there playing with them people. I wish I would go tell them people they can't talk about my hood. You crazy? I wish one of y'all would. I don't see none of y'all up here talking to them folks. Yeah, y'all come on down here, tough ass guys. Come on, tough ass niggas. Come on up down here. Tell these people they can't talk about y'all neighborhood. I'm still looking around for y'all. I don't see nobody. All you Michael Jackson badass niggas, man. Ain't none of y'all down here, man. Where y'all at, man? Y'all gonna tell these people they can't talk about y'all hood? Y'all ain't finna come down here and tell these people, no, y'all know why, 'cause these white people will lock y'all funky asses up. They'll come up here and lock y'all up so fast and throw away the key. Half of y'all got 2 strikes anyway. Y'all do one more crime, it's over with. Game over, they gonna lock you up and throw away the key. Come down here, threaten these people, talking about what they can't do. Come on down here, you tough ass niggas. Come on here and tell these people they can't talk about your hood. Come on down here and tell them that. Tell them they can't ride through your hood no more. Tell them they can't ride the helicopter around your hood and get footage no more. Come up here and tell them, I guarantee none of you tough ass niggas gonna bring y'all ass down here and tell these people shit. Y'all ain't gonna do that. Y'all ain't coming down here and telling people nothing. But look here, man. I had a dream this morning, right? It was probably at 3 o'clock this morning. Cold dream. My neighborhood and another neighborhood right across the street from each other. And it was me and my little brother, man. And I remember half the dream. You know, you don't remember all your dreams clear like that, but I remember some graphic details of the dream, and I woke up and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Even in my dream, you know what I'm saying, being solid worked for me in my dream. So I guess a dog got loose. I don't know if it was my dog or my brother's dog, but the dog got loose. And me and my brother looking for the dog. But we across in another neighborhood that these 2 neighborhoods don't get along, right? I remember somebody from that section seeing me. I seen them leave, and then they came back with a gang, with a whole lot of people. I'm seeing dudes on bikes, they riding by. I'm seeing dudes coming this way. Now they got us blocked in. So now they got us blocked in. We like some apartments. And in your dream, everything don't always add up. In your dream, how it would add up if it was, actually happened. So now we end up in this apartment unit. And it's about 15 of these dudes. They got their weapons. One of them is talking about let's do him, like, you know, let's unalive him. They just rated, but it's, you know, in a dream, it's not happening fast, like, you know. So I remember me telling these dudes, like, look, man, check this out. Man, call so-and-so. Call so-and-so. They know who I am. Yeah, call dude. You know, I don't care if you got enemy neighborhoods and all that. It's always somebody. Everybody knows somebody that they get along with, right? Regardless of the war, because, you know, a lot, if you really from Compton, if you really from South Central, if you really from Watts, Long Beach, any of these areas, you didn't went to school with a lot of these people before they even joined these hoods. And y'all didn't have friendships or somehow know each other from elementary school. It'd be the ones who moved to these hoods that come from other parts of towns, come from other states and join these neighborhoods that don't know nobody. That's why they be so loped out and so eager to ready to go do something. So in that dream, while I'm telling them, man, call so-and-so, I remember somebody walking up in the room. They like, hey, they looked at me like, hey, hold up. That's such and such. You know what I'm saying? Give him a pass. All the other dudes like, what? No, F this dude. No, give him a pass. Give him a pass. Let him get on. And as I'm walking out, me and my brother walking out, I remember dude looking at me like, giving me that look like, you know what I'm saying? Today, your lucky day. You get a pass. And the reason why I had that dream, right before I went to bed, I was talking to one of my homies from Compton. I ain't gonna say they hood, I ain't gonna do none of that. But I'm talking to one of my homies from Compton, and he said, Rock, things changed, bro. He said a lot of the dudes in Compton right now on that blue team, man, they get along. I said, man, that's good, man. That's a good thing. He said, man, for instance, it was a dude who my hood don't get along with. He a youngster. And he came to the section, he came to the set with with one of the little homies. This is how you know things change. Or I don't know if he was with the little homies, I might be, but I know he ended up in their hood. And the homie was like, man, he ended up in the spot where all the homies be at. And they end up rushing him. He ended up getting rushed, right? Back in the days, that wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have left up out of there back in the days. So that right there probably is what triggered that dream before I went to bed. It's like, you gotta pass. A lot of times, man, dudes ain't giving dudes passes no more. Dudes is taking them straight out the game. That's why when it comes to disrespecting people and disrespecting hoods, you gotta be, when you gotta walk a thin line out here, man. It's cool to be turned up if that's what you want to do. If you want to die, if you want to go to jail for the rest of your life, then okay, it's cool to be turned up. But if you ain't trying to go spend the rest of your life in the penitentiary, and if you ain't trying to get an early grade, it's cool to be yourself. You could be where you from. You could represent where you from. There's nothing wrong with representing where you from. There's nothing wrong with being where you from. It's the ones that's out here turned up, doing all the madness, and then when something happened to them, everybody want to cry and scream like that dude was out here walking just a peaceful line or being a respectful gangster. He wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So that dream, when I woke up, I was like, man, Rock, man, you do be doing some solid stuff. You do be giving dude passes. I remember when I was in juvenile hall and we was fighting our case, and I was getting tried as an adult. And I remember me, and I believe it was the homie from East Coast, I ain't gonna say his name, and it was a dude from Treetop. I'm not gonna say his name. Matter of fact, was he from Treetop? I don't know if I take that back. I don't know if he was from Treetop, but I know he was a Pyro. And he wrote in the holding tank, the juvenile little holding tank we was at, he put CK on the wall. And when we came in, me and the homie, we see that. We like, damn, somebody struck up. So by this time, the dude, he already in court. He already upstairs. So when he come back, you know what I'm saying, we notice he another black, because they'll put you in there. When you're a juvenile and you fight an adult case, it ain't like the adults. They'll put Hispanics in the tank. They'll put blacks in the same tank, whoever in the tank. You know, we was kids at the time. So when the dude walked through the door, I hit him up. He said where he was from. The homie hit him up, from Coast hit him up. You know what I'm saying? He said where he was from. And I said, what they call you, homie? And when he told me his name, I instantly looked at the wall. I looked at him, I said, you did this? He said, yeah. Now remind you, for the people that know me, I will be getting calls like, Rock, what you was talking about? And we had that conversation. But we could have rushed dude. We could have maxed him out. At that time, I had a little size on me. I was a little skinny, but I still had more size than the dudes that was my age around me. You know what I'm saying? I told the homie from Coast, I said, get him. Homie from Coast, get down with him. Boom, 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 boom. They getting the cool one in. They fighting, the pyro dude fighting back. They locking up. You know what I'm saying? When they was done, I get down with him. Bing, 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 bing. We lock it up in a discussion. And I told him, I'm a youngster thinking like this. I think I'm, 16 at the time, 15 or 16. I'm a youngster thinking like this. I said, look, homie, we could have maxed you out up in here. We could have rushed you up in here. I said, but I got people that's power rules. My family is power rules. I got cousins that's from your hood. You know what I'm saying? My cousin Trey, rest in peace. Lil Trey, rest in peace. My people G Wayne, you know what I'm saying? I got people from over there. I'm pretty sure he was from Treetop, right? So I said, we could have maxed you out. We could have rushed you. I said, but I don't like jumping people. I don't like rushing people. I like to get people a head up fade. I think only cowards and only busters and marks rush people because they scared to get that one-on-one. They scared to take a loss, so they need help. I wouldn't feel cool getting the victory, jumping somebody. I never was with that, right? And I gave the dude a lecture at 16 years old, 15 years old. And I know that dude, if he see me right now, and if he know me, he got a lot of respect for me. He probably like, man, Rock ain't lying. He ain't lying, he telling the truth. I never was that type of dude that'd do that, that'd rush nobody, that'd jump nobody. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up in my neighborhood, you had to fight. And there was some dudes, you know, you did get rushed. That's what, you know, you did get rushed because people want to see where your heart at. But that was never my thing. I like them one-on-ones, them get-downs, them solid head-up fades. But I just wanted to tell y'all about this dream that I had, man. It was crazy. How the moral of the story to me, be respectful, man. Walk around here, homie, with your head up high, chest out, but at the same time, respectful. Because you never know when it's gonna be your time and somebody see you and somebody wanna get at you and they with their people and you by yourself and somebody say, nah, get blood a pass. Somebody say, nah, get cuz a pass. Or they might say, nah, we ain't gonna unalive him. We gonna get down with him though. That's rare out here. People ain't fighting no more. They ain't getting down. That's over with, but that's rare. But for me to have that dream, it was only because the homie was just telling me how the homies in Compton on the blue team, they really trying to get it together and get along. And he was telling me about how the homies rushed another dude. And this was the icing on the cake. This was the icing on the cake. The dudes who his neighborhood didn't get along with called they homies and said, hey, we appreciate y'all with the utmost respect, giving a homie a pass. Because how we came up, probably wouldn't have made it out of there. That's respectful. And that right there gets you a long way. Just communication, having a communication line. Not taking it upon yourself and say, let's go over there and bust on these dudes for rushing the homie. And at the same time, why was your homie in a section that he know that they don't get along with? Now, maybe he didn't know, he was a youngster. But I like that, man. I like to see the change. That's where it starts at, homie. Communication line. Like, man, we appreciate that. Now, next time when they catch one of them over there, he might get a fade, but he won't get smoked. Or nothing might not happen. I know I'm all over the place with this story, rushing and trying to tell it, because I got to get up out of here, I got to go to work. But I just wanted to stop by ABC, Channel 7 News, because I just knew for a fact that I would see a whole lot of you people, you guys out here, that be telling dudes they can't talk about y'all hood. Up here telling these white folks that. That's what I thought. Compton Rick Rock, Compton Rick Rock TV, man. Y'all comment on the video, man. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll catch all of y'all on the next one. This the news truck right here that be in y'all hood. That's the news truck that be in y'all hood, telling the stories in y'all hood, on y'all homies and all that. That's the truck right there. Yeah, that's the truck right there.
I got my whole own issue with Boosie on Hoover. Like y'all already heard about it before on Real Tune on Hoover. I need my hooves on West Side Hoover. Niggas is supposed to be going to the federal penitentiary area where my homeboys is at on Hoover. But they go one way or another. Nigga gonna meet me. Nigga gonna have to speak up for what they supposed to speak up on Hoover. Nigga, I need my money.
I ain't worried about nothing, man. I ain't going to jail.
For sure. Yeah, all right.
I ain't going to jail.
You mentioned Boosie going to the federal penitentiary in California.
I guarantee you, if a nigga bust them doors open, the first Hoover nigga that I know that know me, that know anything about me, gonna be asking about my violence. I can guarantee you that.
Our business is still not finished. On Hoover, I lost $52,000 in that concert, and I need my money.
You shot straight, but you shot late. Hi, Levin. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown. I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Somebody, what the fuck this nigga talking about his back end? I thought once I paid, like, I didn't know. I'm naive to the whole little script. So they telling me what he's talking about, but that don't have anything to do with me. You talking about Jay-Z and Live Nation and your back end. I don't know nothing about that. But I do know about your brother TQ stealing my mother money. On Hoover, we need to address that. Now, mind you, this is a concert with Lil Boosie and 200 hooks. I have a personal problem with this man. And it wasn't even a problem with Lil Boosie. It was a problem with his management, which is his brother TQ. And just like he see him on TV, he cocky. Oh, but see, he didn't understand. You're in the building with 200 Hoovers. And I'm Gumby Hoover. Ain't no Boosie badass in here. Gumby badass. Hoover though. So, in his defense on Hoover, he was outnumbered. We're in the green room. And I think like the road manager. But at the end of the day, on Hoover though, when Groove was allowed to leave up out of the room, I need my bread. I don't give a fuck who give it to me.
Gumby would go on to explain, to make a long story short, that Boosie had found out through OG Gumby, that his brother TQ was definitely stealing from him. And this wasn't knowledge to Boosie until the situation occurred with OG Gumby. So Gumby felt like Boosie should at least had, acknowledged the fact and, recognized the fact that he would have never found this out had it not been for the situation that, OG Gumby and TQ had with this stolen money and Boosie not receiving all of his cash to do this concert, which led to more problems in Boosie suing his brother TQ up ahead. Now, after his initial interview with Real Tune TV, Tune doubled back and brought OG Gumby back again for another interview where he stated in the interview when asked by Tune as far as the status of the situation about the $52,000 that he felt was owed to him by Boosie, right? That's when OG Gumby explained that he knew Boosie was headed to the federal penitentiary and that he had Hoover gang members there ready to press him about OG Gumby's money as soon as those cell doors unlocked and popped. And it was definitely going to be some answering and some questions going on about this money that's owed to OG Gumby.
A well-known rapper with a big following on social media could be headed back to prison after he pleaded guilty to a gun charge in federal court today.
Boosie was arrested during a traffic stop here in San Diego 2 years ago. CBS 8's Kelly Hezedal joins us live downtown. Kelly, you were in the courtroom. You also spoke to Boosie. What can you tell us?
That's right, and his legal name is Torrance Hatch. Now, a lot of times defendants don't really want to talk to us if they're still going through court proceedings, but he was fine with it. He says he accepts responsibility for what happened, and he's ready to move forward.
I want to put it behind me. I want to get it behind me and get on with my life. It's a lot of things this case has stopped me from doing, traveling all across the world, making. So I just want to get it over with, and, accept my guilty plea. I'm ready to get over it.
How do you think he's going to be treated in, like, California? Is it like you have to join a gang or because it's the feds, right?
I mean, I don't really know how he's going to be treated, but I guarantee you if a nigga bust them doors open, the first Hoover nigga that I know that know me, that know anything about me, going to be asking about my violence. I can guarantee you that. I got my whole own issue with Boosie on Hoover. Like y'all already heard about it before on Real Tune on Hoover. I need my hooves on West Side Hoover. Niggas supposed to be going to the federal penitentiary area where my homeboys is at on Hoover. But they gon' one way or another, nigga gonna meet me, nigga gonna have to speak up for what they supposed to speak up on Hoover. Nigga, I need my money, TK, TQ, whoever that was in your inbox. What's the name?
Oh, the Boosie's brother.
I don't give a I need my money. Talking about slandering you, bitch. I don't gotta do none of that. I need my bread, nigga. You niggas did some whole bad business on Hoover. They try to make it seem like, oh, some janky promoter, some other bullshit. No, your brother ran off with my money, Boosie. Boosie, he ran off with my money. Remember that?
Well, I know Boosie. Now I don't know him like that. We don't know each other that well, but I'm knowing he's an honest man as far as on the bread. You know what I'm saying? Like Boosie doesn't seem like the type who would just dry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know him personally. At that time, I was doing concerts. You know what I'm saying, and I had him, Plies, Apple Watch. You know what I'm saying, what's up to the HG? I hope you get better. You know what I'm saying, I seen you. I'm saying, I like all your shit, man. I'm saying, keep struggling. I hope gang. You know,
I need to find that.
Oh, you got to struggle to live, HG. You know what I'm saying? You came a long way. You know what I'm saying? She walking, she up, she doing her shit, man. Love you, man. Oh, but back to what I was saying, though. Yeah, I had a few different people that night that I was doing the concert with. You know what I'm saying? And I literally missed the concert, you know what I'm saying, into it with this nigga, explaining to him what the situation was with his people who stole my bread. You feel me? Right. So once he realized what his people did, who his TQ, 2K, whatever the fuck this nigga name is, you know what I mean? Whatever his name is, when he found out what he did, that same night, he said on his own Instagram, I don't got no manager. Book me at Boosie.com. Because he seen that this nigga stole the bread and put him in a situation. There's 200 hoopers in this building. And it was Boosie, his road manager, the nigga he had that was supposed to be his bodyguard from Grape Street, and one other person, I believe. You know what I mean? Like, but it's 200 hoopers in here. So he's not in a good situation. You know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying, by us both being men, you know what I'm saying, once all the rah-rah shit was over with, I'm saying, I was able to show Groove, look, oh, Hoover, this is my point right here. Your brother stole my, you know what I mean? And that's what led him to say, okay, well, I don't got no manager. This would led him to sue his brother for $500,000. But at the same time, I'm out $52,000, bro. On Hoover, I need my bread, bro, from somebody.
I believe his brother got jumped over that.
Well, I don't know I don't know. I ain't had nothing to do with nobody getting jumped and nothing like that. Like, you know what I'm saying, I'm just now addressing it because, see, like, everything comes around. Everything comes around, bro. You can't do nothing to no real nigga, you know what I mean? And just get away with it clean. Don't work like that. Especially if that real nigga still living. You know what I'm saying? So I say, like, literally, like, I ain't able to reach out to Boosie or his brother. I don't even know his brother at all. You know what I'm saying? I never had any contact with him. But my direct contact was with Boosie, you know what I'm saying, and the people that I was dealing with, you know what I'm saying, which helped me put on the concert. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's all third-party information. But I feel like I'm the only that got and I need my bread.
Now, it seems like Boosie done responded to OG Gumby's claims that he don't care how he gets his money, whether it's TQ, who initially took the money from him, or Boosie, right? The brother who's famous and who OG Gumby's looking like he's trying to make pay for a situation that his brother finessed him out of. Now, when asked about how he feels about the time he's about to serve in the federal penitentiary, Boosie said that he's not worried about nothing. And even though this clip of OG Gumby was already out before Boosie did this little short interview, that could be, you know, taken as if he's throwing shots at Gumby saying, look, I ain't worried about nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about nothing, because then Boosie backdoors and says, you know, I'm not going to jail.
Boosie, what's up, man? You got your upcoming sentence in your next court date in about 12 days, November 21st.
Yeah.
How you feel about the overall situation, though?
I ain't worried about nothing, man. I trust in God. I ain't even stressing or nothing, bro. Like,
for sure.
I'm living my life. Gonna go take me a trip to Miami.
For sure.
I trust in God, bro. I ain't going to jail.
For sure. Yeah, all right.
I ain't going to jail. But one thing about me, big boy, my chin up and my chest high.
Yes,
so this ain't my first rodeo, nigga.
All right, family.
I'm not going, right? He doesn't want to speak that into existence. So I'm pretty sure Boosie had, heard about what OG Gumby was saying. He had already been, interviewed before on Real Tune TV, and he said, this story before about how he felt, Boosie owes him this money. He doesn't care if it's, Boosie or his brother who pays him. He just needs his money, right? From this $52,000 loss that he claims that the state gave him the money to put on these shows.
On Hoover. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, on some real nigga, if I show you that your brother is then stole $500,000 from you, you know what I'm saying, how you not gonna make sure that what I had going on is right? Without me, that could have continued stealing and doing all the foul shit that Boosie accused him of. You know what I mean? But here I am speaking about the situation. Oh, here's some janky shit, because this is Boosie. I don't give a who you is, bro. I need my money, bro. I need my bro. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling that at all. I don't give a fuck. His brother didn't text you talking about suing me and some more shit. Do what you need to do. Show up in court. I'm hoping. I need my bread. Nigga. You did that. And the crazy thing about it is that, see, they like, oh, this is some type of game. No, that was money that the state gave me to throw those concerts. So I got every record that I'm supposed to have. I hope. I'm not the type of nigga to go jump in court because I don't like the police. I'm saying I've been through the whole situation I've been through. So I'm thinking us as, you know what I'm saying, supposed to be real. We can work this shit out without them. They ain't heard nothing from them. I hope. But see, now you got to go where I got people that can be right next to you.
Now, Boosie spoke as if, he's not going to go do no time at all. Now, I don't know if this is something that, he might have personal knowledge of, that they're still contemplating, and maybe he can get some type of different deal on this where he doesn't do no time. But, for him to say that he's not going to jail, right? And we just heard that he just took a plea, signed a plea deal. We thought all this was already sealed and a done deal. So, for him to say that and state that, it's kind of wild. And, that's something we're going to have to see what's going on when he turns himself in.
That way.
Today, rapper Boosie, whose real name is Torrance Ivy Hatch Jr., pleaded guilty to a charge of being a felon in possession of a firearm.
This charge stems from his 2023 arrest in San Diego's Choice View neighborhood, where police found the 42-year-old with 2 guns during a traffic stop. And he initially planned to plead guilty for probation, but the case was then dismissed last year after a Ninth Circuit court ruled that it was unconstitutional to ban nonviolent felons from owning guns. A larger panel from that court, though, later reversed the ruling, upholding the ban. So now Boosie is set to be sentenced later this year in November.
And his attorney provided us this video of him performing on stage. Now, Hatch, known as Boosie to his fans, now awaits sentencing. He's a father of 9 kids. His fiance was with him in court today. So some background on this case. It stems from a traffic stop in San Diego in May 2023. Hatch was arrested in Choice View after police found 2 guns inside a vehicle he was riding in. Now, the state charges were eventually dropped, but the feds then pursued a case against him because he was a convicted felon in possession of a firearm, which violates federal law. Now, the 42-year-old rapper announced earlier this month on social media that he was going to take a plea deal. And so this morning he went before a judge and entered that guilty plea. So here is what his defense attorney told me outside court.
I am optimistic for Mr. Hatch. He, as he just explained, wanted nothing more than to accept responsibility and put this behind him. And now it's my job to make sure that court understands the scope of the case and what the case is really about. And more importantly, all of the amazing things that Mr. Hatch has done for the community, continues to do, and the amazing things that he will do going forward.
Now, the details of that plea deal have not been released as of yet. So, who knows what Boosie knows about this plea deal that, the public hasn't found out as of yet. But we shall see coming the day of when he supposedly turned himself in. Now, OG Gumby will state that Boosie did not back down when him and the 200-plus Hoovers did lock him in that room and press him about their money that was owed. And he said Boosie, was, shocked and taken back that his brother was stealing from him. This is his first time, finding out anything like this, which led to Boosie firing his brother. And OG Gumby was saying that, Boosie and him talked. That's how Boosie was able to get up out that room and made an agreement that he would make it right? Exchange contact information, and Boosie and him would do business. But, you know, he even stated that him and Boosie got on stage together and did a duet after that. But the business was still never handled about the money being paid to OG Gumby, which Gumby is stating is still unfinished business.
When Grove was allowed to leave up out of the room, said, and how that actually played out was that I explained to him after I caught his attention that his brother had stole from me. And I showed him the bank account and I explained to him what happened. And he agreed that he never received that money in the sense that his brother TQ was on some fast shit and me and him was going to do business. So if you see the footage from the concert, me and Lil Boosie went out and did a whole duo over. Guy said, but at the end of the day, our business is still not finished. Over. I lost $52,000 in that concert and I need my money.
So when it comes to OG Hoover, Gumby, a lot of people think that, you know, he's just woofing on the internet, that he's just talking, that, you know, Boosie's not going to pay him nothing because he's already claimed that he pressed Boosie, right? He locked this door in the green room and him and 200 Hoovers allegedly, you know, confronted Boosie about this money that was owed to OG Gumby. But many people are saying, wow, y'all had 200 some Hoovers and Boosie still didn't give you the money. You had all this manpower. You were outnumbering Boosie and y'all still couldn't get him to give you the money. That's kind of crazy to a lot of people who are looking at the situation. And, you know, OG Gumby is still on a mission from what he is saying in interviews that he's going to have manpower everywhere in the penitentiary. No matter where Boosie is going, it's going to be Hoovers that are going to, you know, ask about this money, see about that money that he owes OG Gumby, allegedly.
I guess y'all thought when I told y'all about the situation with Lil Boosie and his brother was fake. Nah, okay, we do a show. They beat you out the bread, though. Yeah, okay. Did they beat you? Did they show up? Well, they had to kidnap Boosie. Well, it wasn't. The show didn't sell? The show didn't sell? What ended up happening is his brother, right? His brother who has been on this show? Yeah, TQ, right? And
Oh, that's the one we brought. Okay.
So this dude right here, what he did is, a month before the show was to go on, he texted the promoters, Monster and fucking BI, and tell them, look, I double booked Boosie, right? So we don't have to postpone y'all show. I'm like, what? Nah, that don't happen. So I'm like, okay, so what y'all booking for? He said he booked him for $7,500 more. So that made the insurance go up. No, this the Boosie, his insurance was high as fuck because he was a whole rapper. I had Boosie Plies over. Look. So I said, okay, well, fuck it. I'm gonna give it to y'all. So to get him there, because on Hova, this was not the contract. I ain't finna go to court against y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna holler at y'all when y'all get here.
Did they show up?
Boosie showed up.
Well, that's all you need to show
I agree.
up. He kept it real.
But they were not on the same page about the money. First of all, I'm a club promoter. I don't have your back end. You just got $15,000 in my pocket, in your pocket of my money right now. You ain't finna show up here talking about no motherfucking back end.
What was he supposed to get paid, 30?
He was supposed to get paid 25. He had another 10 coming.
Where's it coming from?
It's coming from the venue. He was mad about the venue. They wanted to pay him in a check.
Now, many people feel like Boosie got too much going on with himself right now. You know, he's facing federal prison, turning himself in on November 21st for the sentencing. And also his son, you know, Lil Tootie Raw. He got caught with a switch. That's a federal charge off the rip. So he's also facing time as well in the feds, the son and the father. Wow. It's crazy. So people like, man, Boosie ain't worried about what this guy Gumby is talking about, right? He got too much going on for himself at the moment anyway to be worried about some guy on the internet, you know, talking about a claim from, you know, months and months and months back. So with two gangsters finally meeting up because of a technicality and things weren't running smoothly as they should have possibly been when this concert was promoted by OG Gumby. And Boosie got caught in the middle of it because his brother was doing bad business. And now you have OG Gumby, who has a history of gang banging, Hoover 9 Deuce Crip. OG Gumby is the epitome of I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Because Reggie, OG Gumby Cole, committed his first murder in the Sea Yard of California's Calipatria State Prison. He was a member of the 92 Hoover Crips, had a prison tattoo that read Ghetto Star on his shoulder and another of 9 Deuce and block letters across his stomach. Everybody knew that if you fuck with Gumby, he will stab you, Cole says. He was typically not a brawler. He had maintained his innocence since first being charged with homicide at the age of 18 and spent much of his time in the law library researching his case in a place known as Calipatria, where violence is power. Cole was the rare inmate who proudly claimed not to be a killer. That is, before he became a target of Eddie Clark, a.k.a. the Devil, a Crip from South Central who had spent half of his life behind bars, first as a juvenile for beating another teen to death, then for S.A.ing an elderly woman and shooting her son during a robbery as an adult. To be marked by the Devil was to be marked for either death or S.A. servitude. Cole seemed to be facing both. After he refused to follow a gang order, the Devil had stabbed Cole twice and then whispered in Cole's ear, "You're now my bitch." In the C yard, inmates get patted down before returning to their cells. It was not uncommon for guards to find weapons hidden in the sole or sock or shoe tucked into a waistband, if not someplace more obscure. According to the official report, they say that old Cole started digging around in a place that he knew he had hidden a shank previously on the yard. And once Cole dug that old shank up, that poker, right, he was ready for some revenge, as this incident had just taken place, right? Devil had just stabbed him twice and whispered in his ear that he was now his bitch. And Cole had to get some type of retribution, being in fear of getting punked out, marked out, and bitched out, and possibly becoming a sidewalk sissy to Devil. And guess what? According to court documents, a guard placed his hand on Devil's hulking 200-pound frame to pat him down. The Devil extended his arms outward for inspection, revealing a tattoo of a hand gripping a sword on his right forearm. He also had a tattoo of his own self-portrait in the act of slitting a man's throat on his right rib cage. Cole watched a few feet away, clutching a 6-inch poker fashioned from a shard of metal and a melted potato chip bag. Wow, that's creative. Oh, OG Gumby wasn't fucking around, was he? As the guard bent over to pat Devil's legs, OG Gumby, Reggie Cole, leapt forward and stabbed the Devil in the neck. The blade punctured the Devil's voice box. Blood spurted into the air and on the guard, who had never seen a prison murder before, pulled his pepper spray out of his holster. "Get down," he yelled. All the men in the yard on the ground. Cole lay on his belly. "I already know what I did," he told the guards. Devil staggered onto a patch of grass, helplessly pressing his hand against the gushing 1-inch wound. "My first thought was like, I gotta go help him," Reggie Cole said. "It was very terrifying. I've never seen someone bleed to death. He was looking at me the whole time. By the time the doctor attended to him 30 minutes later, the Devil was dead." Cole was serving a life without parole sentence for the 1994 murder of Felipe Gonzalez Angeles. Now he faced a death penalty for killing the Devil. His trial, held in Imperial County, should have been a swift affair. There was little to dispute his guilt, but as the case wore on, Cole's lawyer became increasingly convinced that his client had been wrongfully convicted of the first instance. There was no physical evidence linking Cole to the crime, and serious concerns that the police investigation had been flawed from the start, but that only raised more troubling questions in his case. If the state had falsely imprisoned Cole, was he now accountable for the violence that resulted from the error? Reinvestigation eventually proved persuasive forensic evidence showed that the victim, Angeles, had been killed from above and not at a street level like the witness, John Jones, said he seen the black African-American males on the street right before the murder of Angeles. No fingerprints attached Cole or Anthony to the scene, and the witness, John Jones, had retracted his testimony. No eyewitnesses could identify Cole. Okay, and now the judge decided, and it came down to February of 2008, which time Cole had spent merely 14 years in prison. And the judge decided that Cole had been wrongfully convicted of the murder of Angeles. In the same trial, that man was facing the death penalty for an obvious murder. He had been cleared of one that he didn't commit. "Never seen that, and you never will again," Robinson said. Reggie OG Gumby Cole will be awarded $5.2 million from the city of Los Angeles for being wrongly convicted of those crimes. Now, with Boosie Badass having a dangerous background himself, even having his own shooter, with the words tatted on his stomach. Yo, Boosie, who's next? Boss man Boosie was calling shots. You know, allegedly, Marlo Mike is still serving time for those alleged crimes, right? And as we know, Boosie's not going to back down, as he didn't back down then when OG Gumby confronted him, right? Boosie said he's not worried about nothing. He's taking trips, he's going to Miami, right? Right before he has to go turn himself in on the 21st of November. So y'all get in the comment section, and y'all let me know what y'all think about this entire situation. And until the next time, this is OG Jacario TV with the latest in rap, hip-hop celebrity, and urban news. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey, man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. You already know what it is, man. It's deeper than Buddha, her, you hear me? And guess what? I'm gone.
Stay down, I'm gonna tase you! A wild scramble under a semi-trailer to capture a violent fugitive.
He is hurt women, he's hurt children.
Hear the powerful plea in court to keep this suspect locked up. A young man gunned down while getting some pizza.
No one deserves to lose their life for no reason at all.
His mother shares her grief and what she's learned from investigators. A robbery in the works, but deputies were one step ahead.
Coming from down the street? Yeah. Or going down the street?
Yeah.
It's on top of your head, do it now.
It's guns, masks, and flimsy excuses tonight in the Spotlight.
I think you got some felony warrants, man.
Stay down, I'm gonna tase you. I will tase. Melton, you're gonna get tased. This body cam video shows the arrest of Milton Scott, the serial domestic violence offender. Tried to run from Tacoma police and ended up getting tased. He was wanted in King County after Kent police say he broke into his ex's home by removing her air conditioner, then assaulting her and her young daughter when the girl tried to run for help. Well, good evening and welcome to the Spotlight, and thank you for joining us. I'm David Rose. Scott was transferred to the King County Jail. He pleaded not guilty to burglary in the first-degree domestic violence and assault. His attorney tried to get him released, and that's when the woman he's accused of attacking stepped up.
He has hurt women, he's hurt children, he's hurt men, he's fought police officers. He should not be released.
An emotional plea from the woman Milton Scott is charged with assaulting.
He should not have been on the street. I only found out about his history because Department of Corrections came to my house because they told me he's a high violent.
Man, I've just seen some insane news. I'm not sure I believe it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure I believe it, but I want to get into it, okay? Because I've seen an absolutely wild, bold claim that is being made about YNW Melly's situation. Now, if you didn't know, okay, just to give you a little bit of refresher Tory backstory, okay, YNW Melly was obviously like, you know, a Florida gangster rap prospect, you know, a few years ago. I'm thinking like 2017, 2018 times, he had the rap game in a chokehold, okay? He had a whole bunch of songs that I absolutely loved. He had that song Blue Balenciagas, I think it was called. He had like a whole bunch of just hitting songs, okay? And he obviously ended up making this hit track, Murder on My Mind, Murder on My Mind. Well, unfortunately, soon after that, he ended up getting slapped with double murder charges of two of his best friends, okay? YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie were basically wound up dead in a car. Now, YNW was his crew, okay? YNW Young World, okay? They were a whole little crew, gang, whatever you want to call them, of just young guys. They were trying to get it, okay? They were trying to blow up. They were trying to get it. They were running their rap game careers, you know, like a real cohesive team. At some point, there was a falling out between them, and there's been a lot of rumors about exactly what was going on. One of the rumors was that YNW Sack Chaser was essentially, you know, the manager, and then maybe Melly was trying to go a different route with the management. There's been rumors that they had had some kind of fist fight altercation at some point. and then maybe they had squashed it. But what ends up happening is all the YNW guys, they're in a car together. Okay, YNW Melly, YNW Juvie, YNW Sack Chaser, and YNW Bortland. And suddenly, out of nowhere, YNW Bortland turns up to the hospital with a car riddled with bullets, and Sack Chaser and Juvie are both dead in the car, and Melly is nowhere to be seen. Now, they've been awaiting trial for, I think it's about, I want to say about 7 years now. It's actually crazy. It's going on 7 to 8 years that they've actually been waiting trial in this situation. And what really is on everybody's mind is like this idea that Melly actually is the one that was responsible. They were having a feud. He shot the car up, and then he basically sent Bortland to go and take the car to the hospital and come up with a lie to say that, yeah, we were targeted in a drive-by shooting. And the state has been alleging that they basically took the bodies, got out the car, and then shot up the car to make it look like a drive-by happened. So here's the really interesting thing, okay? Here's the really interesting thing. Now, there's new interrogation footage that's come out because when this happened, okay, there was rumors that different people were trying to claim the murder. You know, obviously, if you don't believe the theory that Melly did this to his own friends because of a personal beef, then you got to say, well, who would have wanted to take out YNW Melly and kill the whole YNW crew? Now here, there's an interrogation with one of YNW Melly's friends, and he's basically trying to suggest that maybe it was NBA Youngboy who was responsible for the murder. Maybe Youngboy sent the hitters. Now look, it wouldn't be the first time Youngboy has allegedly zipped something, but it's pretty far-fetched. But there is actually an interesting reason behind the scenes why YNW Melly actually did have a giant beef. And specifically, Sack Chaser did have a beef with NBA Youngboy personally. So let's take a look at this kind of explosive interrogation footage that's just come out, and then I'll give you the backstory and why YNW Melly and NBA crew didn't actually get along. Check this out.
Like, the time y'all figure out they died, like, the time that shit was, motherfuckers was posting crazy shit around that time. Who was every young boy?
Yeah, young boy.
All them niggas.
Yeah, they were trying to take claim to it. The Nub Street Blood family was trying to take claim. Some idiot from Fort Pierce was trying to take claim to it.
Yeah, all them niggas. But you may never know them niggas might be dead ass serious for real, like. Cause I don't know, bro. Cause like my mindset is like, for young boy, how you know so much about this shit? And you feel me? How you know about it? The Slang That Iron song from Youngboy, the remix of Melly song. Listen to that bitch. What the fuck he said? Bust the time, like, the time y'all figure out they died, like, the time that shit was, motherfuckers was posting crazy shit around that time.
Who was
every young boy?
Yeah, young boy.
All them niggas.
Yeah, they were trying to take claim to it. The Nub Street Blood family was trying to take claim. Some idiot from Fort Pierce was trying to take claim to it.
Yeah, all them niggas. But you may never know them niggas might be dead ass serious for real, like. Cause I don't know, bro. Cause like my mindset is like, for young boy, how you know so much about this shit? And you feel me? How you know about it? The Slang That Iron song from Youngboy, the remix of Melly song. Listen to that bitch. What the fuck he said? Bust the time, like, the time y'all figure out they died, like, the time that shit was, motherfuckers was posting crazy shit around that time.
Who was
every young boy?
Yeah, young boy.
All them niggas.
Yeah, they were trying to take claim to it. The Nub Street Blood family was trying to take claim. Some idiot from Fort Pierce was trying to take claim to it.
Yeah, all them niggas. But you may never know them niggas might be dead ass serious for real, like. Cause I don't know, bro. Cause like my mindset is like, for young boy, how you know so much about this shit? And you feel me? How you know about it? The Slang That Iron song from Young.
Okay, I don't know if that's just playing in repeat. I thought maybe he was just repeating his points, but basically, okay, he's trying to say that Youngboy was putting out some suggestions that he might have had something to do with it. Now, weirdly, okay, he said, "Oh, listen to Youngboy's Slang That Iron remix." Now, I can't find any evidence for Slang That Iron remix. Now, Slang That Iron is basically a track that YNW Melly dropped, okay, and I think it was a remix of a Chris Brown song that he basically flipped to make like a gangster song. He said, "There's never a wrong time to slang that iron." So this was like a flip of Chris Brown's "Say Goodbye." There's never a wrong time to say goodbye. He's saying "slang that iron." Like, it's a pretty genius way of like interpolating, a song that's about romance into killing people, right? But I've not been able to find any NBA Youngboy remix of that, so I don't know if that's cap or I don't know if he's trying to say this song has something to do with it. But basically, you know, I mean, this is Melly's original song. He's talking about people want him dead, 2 bullets in his head. You know, it's not clear to me that this was about Youngboy, but obviously the beef between the YNW crew and the NBA crew all basically goes back to this incident. Now, I still personally think it's far-fetched to say that NBA Youngboy had anything to do with this. I think he could have been framed. I mean, I think they're trying to frame him to get Melly off the hook, if I'm honest with you. But there was an altercation between the YNW crew and Youngboy and Quando Rondo. And this is YNW Sack Chaser, obviously, who was one of the 2 people who lost his life in that car, that they're then trying to say, oh, maybe Youngboy had something to do with it. And he would break down in this IG Live a whole backstory about a massive fist fight that he got into with Youngboy and Quando. I'm not going to lie, this was hilarious. The way that he broke this down and described it is legendary. You might have seen this in one of my old videos. But let's just take a little look and reaction to it so you can understand the beef between YNW and NBA. And you tell me down in the comments whether or not you believe there's some truth to this. Maybe NBA Youngboy can add another hat to his collection, 2 hats to his collection. Maybe he was responsible. I personally am not buying it, but let's hear the backstory.
Atlantic, Youngboy already outside looking like this. So like, maybe like, they go Youngboy. I said, oh shit, yeah, we might not have to fade in him. So then we walk in, it's like a gate. He came out, but when I came up, he went back in. But then nigga just started like, look crazy still. Like, I fuck with a nigga, but I ain't friendly. Like, I ain't finna look scared and say what's up to you. So I asked the nigga, you straight? Me and Drew, we were like, straight? And he was like, yo, I'm straight. Fuck you mean, nigga? Yo, I'm straight. Then he kept looking. And then I said, nigga, you straight again? Like I said, ask him, you straight again? And then got down. His homeboys came creep-toeing like a damn penguin and shit. And then got down, asked him, they were just talking. I figured they just really wanted us to pop off so they could shoot or something, whatever. But they was just in our face talking. And then, same thing, Melly looking at the young boy in the eyes. He was like, the nigga doing the eye shit. Nigga came up. And then, same thing, Melly looking at the young boy in the eyes. He was like, the nigga doing the eye shit. Nigga came up. We inside the building. See, both fights was inside the building. That's why nobody in there. Like both fights inside the building. You know what I'm saying? We went outside and then, or like, Walmart and inside the record label. Inside that motherfucker. So like, goddamn, young boy, like, he talking to the Eli dude. He like, bro, fuck all that, man. I'm finna just pop off. So then he popped off. He hit Melly, boom. But it's some weak shit, like, you would think the nigga strong, but the nigga, like, body, like, dead. He hit his ass, boom. So, like, Melly, when he hit him, Melly hit him 2 times, boom, boom. And that's when I popped off on him. Popped off on young boy. And then his niggas came after me. And they started boom, 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 boom. Melly hit on the ground. He fell on the ground because they had, like, bulldozers I had in. It was like 5 of them. So then, and then goddamn, Riri had jumped on Melly. So I got behind both of their ass. Like, had jumped on Melly. So I got behind both of their ass. Like, they both behind me. And like, I let them boys take off on me for like 3 seconds. So then I just said, fuck it. They already hit me. I just started, swinging back at their ass. That shit started getting cleared up. So then they ran, like the dude broke it up. They ran out the room. Then they came back in that bitch. Quando Rondo came in that bitch that time. Yeah, started jumping me. Boom, 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 boom. Caught Quando Rondo's ass in the forehead. Boom. He caught my ass back in the forehead. Nigga jumped up in the sky. Jumped on my motherfucking chest. Nigga ran out. Niggas always running though. Everybody always run from my ass. They ran out. So then young boy tried to jump. Come hit my ass too. With Melly caught his ass. Boom. Hit his ass and shit. Boom. And it was just over with. And they just left. Got down, sent the chain back. Soon we came back to Florida. Boom. That shit dead. We ain't go to the internet. They ain't go to the internet. That shit dead. He just like us. Love him. Shit, no, you know what I'm saying? No. Ain't shit problem.
Now, while I'm watching this, okay, I found a few links that are really interesting. But what this reminded me of is a lot of people have been trying desperately to try and work out what was the beef between Quando Rondo and Youngboy and King Von and Lil Durk. Where did this start? A lot of people have suggested it was over a girl. Obviously, we saw in 2019 King Von taken to Instagram Live talking about you got Cap in your raps, dissing Youngboy, basically saying you got 7 bodies. Because bear in mind, this is a time when Youngboy was hopping on the mic talking about he got 7 bodies, 3, 4, 5, gets to 7 bodies. Now he's talking about he's got 19 bodies in 2024. That's a story for another day. Excuse me. But this was 2018, right? This, even just this IG Live, this was in 2018. So this is before King Von hopped online talking about you got Cap in your raps. And this is before, you know, King Von popping out with Youngboy's baby moms. This is even before Youngboy really talking about having 7 bodies. Youngboy is probably claiming like 3 bodies at this point in his career, if I'm completely honest with you. But here's the interesting thing, all right? King Von and YNW Melly were very close friends. They got songs together, like the track Rollin'. Okay, and there's just other little moments that they've had. People saying, is the King Von or Melly friendship really random? People saying, no, it's not random. They had the same manager, 100K Track, and he was there when Von got killed. I would imagine they spent a lot of time together. Bortland even has King Von's name tatted on his face. What the hell? I didn't even know that. You know what's crazy? People saying, I only found out the recent month they met and made a music video together. I was like, what the hell? I never knew of Von. Oh yeah, that stuff doesn't matter. But they made the music video, right? So a lot of people actually believe that the friendship between King Von and YNW Melly and the fist fight between YNW Melly's crew and Quando Rondo and Youngboy is actually the reason, maybe the inciting incident that started all of this. And what's really interesting about this theory that I feel like is massively, massively overlooked, right? What did Sack Chaser just tell us happened? Okay, what did he just tell us happened? He said that they ran into each other. I'll play you the little start bit, right? But he says they ran into each other, and I'm not going to lie, it was hilarious when he kind of says, like, Youngboy was looking like, because that's how the Youngboy be looking at fools, I ain't going to lie. But look, I'm just going to play you a little bit of this just to remind you how this popped off, and then I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. You're not going to believe
We put up in Atlanta. Youngboy already outside looking like this. So, like,
the impression's on point.
Man, like, they go Youngboy. I said, oh, shit. So, like, man, like, they go Youngboy. I said, oh, shit. Yeah, we might not have to fade in it. So then we walk in, it's like a gate. He came out, but when I came up, he went back in. But then nigga just started like, look crazy still. Like, I fuck with a nigga, but I ain't friendly. Like, I ain't finna look scared and say what's up to you. So I asked the nigga, you straight? Me and Drew, we was like, straight? And he was like, yo, I'm straight. Fuck you mean? Yo, I'm straight. Then he kept looking. And then I said, nigga, you straight again? Like I said, ask nigga, you straight again? And then got down. His homeboys came creep-toeing like a damn penguin and shit. And then got down, asked him, they were just talking. I figured they just really wanted us to pop off so they could shoot or something, whatever.
Listen to what he just said.
They were just talking. I figured they just really wanted us to pop off so they could shoot.
I figured they really wanted us to pop off so they could shoot. Sounds familiar.
Or something, whatever. But they were just in our face talking. And then, same thing, Melly looking at the young boy in the eyes, and he was like, the nigga doing the eye shit. Nigga came up. And then, same thing, Melly looking at the young boy in the eyes, and he was like, the nigga doing the eye shit. Nigga came up. We inside the building. See, both fights was inside the building. That's why nobody in there. Like both fights inside the building. You know what I'm saying? We went outside and then like, Walmart and inside the record label. Inside that motherfucker. So like, goddamn, young boy, like, he talking to the Eli dude. He like, bro, fuck all that, man. I'm finna just pop off. So then he popped off. He hit Melly, boom. But it's some weak shit, like, you'll think the nigga strong, but the nigga, like, body, like, dead.
That was hilarious. You talk about, but Youngboy popped it off. Youngboy threw the first punch. He punched Melly out of nowhere. Youngboy sucker punched Melly. Now, what happened the night King Von died? And this whole fight went down. It was Youngboy and Quando versus the YNW crew, right? And even what he said, I thought he wanted us to pop it off so they could shoot us. Now, this is all sounding very interesting and similar to what happened to King Von. And what's really crazy, right? If you remember when that King Von situation happened, I'm not saying that's what happened, but when he just said, yeah, I was thinking Youngboy wanted us to pop it off so they could shoot us. What ended up happening? Quando Rondo was out there. King Von punched on him, and Little Tim hopped out and shoot. Now, in context of this, if you believe that this is actually a reason, and the friendship between YNW Melly and King Von, which is well documented, if you believe that this is actually a reason that these guys might not have been seeing eye to eye, you could understand why these guys had a massive fist fight with a guy that's super close friends with King Von, and then they run into each other, and then the next time, the scenario is kind of similar but different, and they're more prepared for this. Now, I feel like I could believe that there's a connection to this, and there's a whole bunch of Reddit posts that actually seem to back this up. So check out some of these posts. All right, this is 3 years ago. It says, to all the new fans, do you know that YNW Melly was one of the main people that actually helped cause the King Von YB issue? YNW Melly got beat up by Youngboy and Quando Rondo at Atlantic Records office mid-2018 and went crying later to King Von and Fredo Bang early 2019 about Youngboy. YNW Melly got beat up and Sack Chaser and Juvie ran out the office. YNW Juvie confirmed this story. I ain't even
Young
seen
boy,
this one.
like, he talking to them Eli dude. He like, bro, fuck all that, man. Down rehab.
Oh, they got the wrong person. That's Sack Chaser. They don't know the story as well as me. Anyway, YNW Melly didn't want anyone to know this. I didn't actually know this aspect, and got pissed off when Juvie, really it was Sack Chaser, talked about it on IG Live and was already angry because both of them ran off on him. That was an alleged reason why YNW Melly killed both of his friends. Don't be surprised when YB and Quando's name gets brought up in YNW Melly's murder case. He cried to Fredo Bang and King Von and got both of them to link up in early 2019. King Von want to handle YB for him. That's why King Von, basically, yeah. Got both of them to go up. King Von wanted to handle Youngboy for him. That's why King Von and Youngboy had their issues. YNW Melly caused the whole OTF 4K trade beef, and the shocking thing is, the fact is, he's most likely going to do life in prison. All right? I think that's super interesting. And you know what else is crazy? Obviously, they said in that comment, oh, don't be surprised when this gets brought up in trial. Now, 2 years ago, before there was a mistrial, this was brought up in trial. This is a post that says Melly's ex-girlfriend talks about the fight Melly had at Atlantic Studios with NBA Youngboy and his crew 2 months before Sack and Juvie were killed. It did get brought up. Now, this is crazy.
Pulling up to the studio, and his friend Melly's Zach was like, there go NBA Youngboy. So we're like, oh yeah, that is NBA Youngboy. So he's like, I feel like we're gonna get into it with him. So I'm just praying, like, God, please don't let us get into it with these people. Like, I hope not. So as we walk into the studio, like he give Melly a look, like he sighs him. So Zach, like, what's up? Like, you straight or whatever? And he's like, he was like, yeah, I'm good or whatever. Then he just started saying stuff. And then Zach ended up saying something back to him. And then Melly was like, what's up? And he swung on Melly, they fought. And then the guys started jumping in, everybody just started jumping in. I tried to jump on top of Melly to like guard him. It was just a big scuffle, honestly. Like, it was bad. It was horrible.
Did police ever look into this?
No. No. Wow. It was just like, it happened and that was it. Like, Melly chain fell, they took it and ran out the studio and left, and that was it, honestly. Like, they never, pulling up to the studio.
Right? It's kind of crazy, okay? It's very interesting. Now, I don't know if this actually doesn't look like it was brought up at the trial. My bad. Because I feel like the way that this was edited makes it look like this was brought up at the trial, but I think they're actually doing an evidence. They're just doing an interview around the trial. So this isn't, this isn't actually from the trial. My bad. So this is a segment that people did say did come up at the trial that mentions Youngboy. Now, you're not really going to be able to see this very well, and I'm going to refer to the comments, okay? But basically, this is a post from the trial. This is in the NBA Youngboy subreddit, and it basically says, YB killed one of YNW Melly's friends. And it says, I'm not talking about Juvie and Sack Chaser. I know a lot of you ain't catch this, but read the text at the top. I realized the prosecution didn't even speak on it, so I rewinded to see what else was said. And I'm going to put a screenshot in the comments section if you can't be bothered to pause the video. Now, this might be quite difficult for you guys to see, but I'm going to just try and zoom in as much as possible and let you know what's going on. But basically, in court, they're reading a bunch of text back and forth, and people are basically inferring on Reddit that actually this was a conversation where they were talking about the beef.
You could remind the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what does that mean?
Crabs are going to kill. It's over.
So the text says, he said he's going to kill us Shine dudes, that's G Shine Bloods, I guess, when he catch us. Well, me and you, I told that very disrespectful word for Crips, ass dude, if you touch any of my herks, it's over for us.
K, Crip, killer. So that's the only time you'll see a C, unless they just forget to cross it out like in catch. When they put CK, that's something that is typically graffiti. CK, Crip, killer.
Okay, it says, I'm the bar. What time the show start tomorrow so I can know what time to push up? Something, I guess that's cool. All right, so this is the message. It's quite hard to see, and it's low key. Like, they don't really focus on it, but it's like they accidentally leaked it to the trial just by showing this on screen, right? And it's quite hard to see. Let me see if I can get a better screenshot. So somebody's typed this out in the comments. So I'll read that. So
and then going on.
All right, so I'm gonna read the comment. Somebody's typed it out, and shout out to the person. The top comment here says, "Don't let Traplaw Ross see that. He's definitely gonna put this in a doc for sure. You're too late." But all right, it says here. It says he was just here 2 days ago and killed one of my buzzins and told him it was smoke with us. I'm just gonna Peter roll the boy when I view him, Herc. All right. So you saw what that was. That is the message that's up here. It's kind of too hard to see, but that is what it is. And so what people are saying that this means is that basically they're saying that this is Melly having a conversation, basically saying, yeah, he killed one of my friends recently. He was just in my area 2 days ago and killed one of my guys and told him it was smoke with us. Okay. So people are suggesting and inferring from this that there was actually real murders going on between the YNW crew and the NBA crew. Now that is absolutely explosive. Okay. And it's too late. I've seen it now. Okay. We're putting this in. I don't know if this is anything really, can we believe that? Like, just because someone says that, I could text my homie right now and just be like, yo, like, bruh, like, young boy was just here the other day and he killed like 10 of my editors. And like, it's war is up with us. That doesn't necessarily mean that's true, right? Now, okay, one of the most feared and notorious, steppers for the NBA crew, Ben 10, he would actually apparently speak out about Youngboy's name being brought up during Melly's trial, and he would basically just reiterate the claims that Melly got his chain snatched during that original fight at Atlantic.
This shit, but look though, how the fuck a nigga go to trial for a murder charge and bring up another nigga name who ain't nothing to do with none of this shit when he was up? Man, bro, you talking about the whole situation ain't nothing to do with the situation. Like, what the fuck? Then you lying about the shit. You ain't never have a fight with him, Pacific, or none of them people. Your chain got took by somebody else. I got it back for you. It's like Boogle just weird shit.
Now, look, I don't want to believe that there's too much truth to this. Okay? The idea that NBA Youngboy really did this is absolutely insane. But the one little detail, okay, that makes you think like, this is just a little bit too messed up, all right? Who is Youngboy's biggest op, all right? I'll give you like 3 seconds to work it out, and then I'll show you. It's Fredo Bang, all right? It's Fredo Bang. That's Youngboy's most infamous, longest-running op from Baton Rouge. They've been having beef for years and years and years. Obviously, G Money, who was a very close friend of Fredo Bang, they were on the TBG label together. Youngboy was on TBG for like a mixtape or two, and then he ended up falling out with them. He started NBA. They were at war with TBG, and their best money, G Money, ends up getting killed. Fredo Bang becomes the top rapper, okay? So this is a Baton Rouge gang war that NBA Youngboy is beefing with Fredo Bang. This is like one of them little details that you're just like, this is a little bit too much. That shootout, that alleged shooting happened, right? YNW Melly's in the car. He's suddenly not in the car. Bortland takes the car with the 2 dead bodies, Juvie and Sack Chaser, to the hospital and says, we got hit in a drive-by, and Melly's nowhere to be seen. Who picked Melly up? Bruh. Prosecutors allege Fredo Bang picked up YNW Melly after the murders of YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. Why is Youngboy's biggest op picking up YNW Melly after the murders of YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser, bro? It's like, I don't even want to believe it, but it's like, when you start layering some of these details together, you're like, don't tell me Youngboy's... I still don't believe that Youngboy had anything to do with this, but like, how are you going to tell me Youngboy's biggest op is the one picking you up? YNW Melly had on change of clothes at Fredo Bang's house following the murders, witness testifies. Witness testified that Melly had on a change of clothes at Fredo Bang's house. They went to the house. They're saying that testimony, it said that he'd known the victims. They booked the studio time, blah, blah, blah. They got into the Jeep Compass that would be the scene of the murders. Upon going home and falling asleep, his phone began blowing up hours later with news of the killings. He went to the hospital and later went to Fredo Bang's house, where he saw Melly for the first time since the studio session. He wasn't wearing the same clothes. He had on some shorts. So look, I'm going to leave it there. I don't think that Melly, I don't even know what to think, okay? But I feel like it's very unlikely that Youngboy was really killing YNW members. I feel like these connections are a little bit suspicious, especially the King Von connection. I'm going to have to do a little bit more digging. I'm not going to lie, because I'm actually I'm a little bit shock and awe about what's going on here. But look, I'm really excited to just see the outcome of YNW Melly's trial. I wonder when that's happening. When's the new trial happening? Because oh, no. It's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute. Hang on a minute. They're saying 2027, January 2027, man. So it's going to be over a year. So I've got over a year to look into this, man. But I feel like some of these details are super suspicious. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, do your usual thing, call me the feds, all of that good stuff. But I feel like there's some really interesting information on the table here. And with this dude actually sitting down with the cops saying, yo, maybe NBA Youngboy had something to do with it. Like, I don't want to just believe based on that. But then it's like when you start picking apart like the connection with the King Von thing and the Quando Rondo thing and the Youngboy beef and Melly being friends with Von, and then like Sack Chaser saying that one little statement, like, yeah, I think Youngboy wanted us to punch him so that he could just shoot us. Not the first time I've seen that. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments, man. This is absolutely crazy. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out. We've got some very fresh new Lil Durk paperwork, and some people are saying that it's finally looking good for the boy Lil Durk. Now, I've said quite a few times on this channel that I personally think, in my personal, honest, own, personal, just me, not trying to get sued opinion, is that Lil Durk is perhaps cooked. He is perhaps overly cooked. He's perhaps grilled, charbroiled perhaps. But realistically, a lot of people think that I'm capping. A lot of people think I've got the wrong opinion. That's just my personal opinion. I don't want people to get the wrong idea and think that I'm telling you for a fact 100,000%. If it's not true, if I'm lying, I'm dying. That's just my opinion. A lot of people think that Lil Durk is going to beat this. And one of those people is my guy, Seti Nash. Shout out to Seti Nash. He just posted this new paperwork on his story on Instagram. And on his as a post on Instagram, and he believes that he's been saying since the very beginning that Durk is going to go free. Now, I want to be very fair. I want to present you his opinion on this first, and then I'm going to go through the paperwork and explain why I personally, I'm not entirely convinced that he is good, but I do feel like this new piece of paperwork is make or break, and we might see things start to go in a positive direction for Durk if, and that's a big, fat, enormous 400-pounder if, the government doesn't clap back in a powerful way. But if the government does clap back in a way that I think they might clap back, it will be over for Lil Durk and he will be fully cooked like a rotisserie chicken. I'm not going to lie, okay? So there's a lot of nuance to this, and it all comes down to quite literally the last couple of lines of this paperwork. So I'm going to go through the entire thing. I've just read the entire 11-page document. I've made notes on everything. I'm going to break it all down for you. But before we get to that, let's look at what Seti had to say about the situation.
The only person that ain't signed an OTF that been telling y'all from day one Durk finna be found innocent. Take a look. PW1 first claimed that there was no bounty, that he did not commit the murder for money. He did it under duress and magically changed the story. They realized what he was saying was cap probably when the SSI removed the allegation that Didi actually paid the bounty. So here you say right here, if that doubt eliminating discovery existed, the government would certainly have cited to it in its oppression, yet it does not. Indeed, nowhere does the discovery set forth anything resembling a fixed or coherent theory of the time, place, and circumstances of the bounty, allegations, or at the direction of the allegations. On the contrary, the discovery reveals government witnesses who are consistently changing their stories. PW1, for example, has asserted that there was no bounty at all, that he did not agree to murder TB for monetary gain, and that he did so under duress. But as one might expect in a murder for hire prosecution predicated on the existence of a bounty, he rises to meet the occasion. In one government proffer session, PW1 recounts how Mr. Wilson allegedly stayed behind in Los Angeles after the other participants flew out in order to collect the bounty money for distribution. PW1's story is, however, flatly contradicted by the objective evidence. The government's realization that PW1 lied here is likely why, between the first superseding indictment and the second superseding indictment, it deleted language alleging that Mr. Wilson paid the bounty after SR's homicide. See docket number 27, page 6 at 9, when the government's witnesses are constantly changing their stories about crucial facts as the discovery catalogs here. Mr. Banks' defense must take aim at a moving target that is fundamentally unfair. Yeah, I'm going to drop the full entire thing on my channel, but we're going to do that tomorrow. Let the bloggers have it. I'm always breaking news. Shout out to Durk all day. Shout out to Lil Bro. Do your thing. Crazy shit.
So Seti said, I'm going to let the bloggers have it. I appreciate the alley-oop once again from Seti Nash. I wonder why he's not jumping on this immediately. Does he feel like he needs somebody else to come in and maybe put a little bit more context to this? Or maybe he's just tired this evening. I don't know, okay? But I personally saw this. I thought it was very interesting. I pulled up the paperwork myself. I read through the entire thing. I made notes on absolutely everything. And I do think there's some very nuanced details that he missed. And I do think that if we get this all broken down page by page, I'm going to explain to you why this really is make or break. And I don't think this is the win, necessarily the outright victory that it's being portrayed as. But I do think this is like an ultimatum being left. Okay. They're basically saying, you ain't got nothing. Show us what you got. And if they come back and show them exactly what they have, and it fills in all the gaps that Dirk is calling out, he's cooked. It's over with, right? They've put together a puzzle, and there's a few pieces missing. They're saying, if you ain't got these pieces, you ain't going to finish this puzzle, and it's all or nothing. But if they come through and they say, what do you think of this piece? What do you think of this piece? And they slot it in these perfectly puzzled, Dirk-shaped sized holes, pause, it's going to be over with, all right? So let me break it down to you. I've got it here. I've broken down all of the pages and read through the whole thing. But basically, this is Dirk Banks's reply in support of his motion to dismiss the entire indictment as a
What y'all think, man? Y'all think that Compton Rick Rock was doing too much, going to the news place, basically saying y'all won't go over here and tell them, oh, you can't speak on my neighborhood. You gonna go to the actual news reporter because he pulled up to ABC 7 News. And then we got Dirk, you know, a little bit of that. OG Gumby and Boosie, a little bit of that. Yeah, man, we on to the next one. Appreciate everybody liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and the notification bell so I'm there so I can throw some news in the air. Follow me on Kick, follow me on Discord, follow me on Twitch. Follow me on IG, hype the video up. Let's get to 4,000 subs, and we gone. Get the fuck off.